Look.
Listen.
Taylor.
Hey, we did it, everybody. Hey, whoop, 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 whoop. It's episode 65 of Look, Listen with Geese Guyera. Welcome, everyone. This is a podcast about Pokemon and other things. Today, we are going to be discussing episode 22 of the Pokemon anime. But first, before any Pokemon discussion, we must discuss Lookin, Playin', Eatin'. Geese P, please tell us more about Downton Abbey, what we discuss every week.
My mom's rewatching it, and by extension, I'm rewatching it, and we're almost over, and it's really frustrating because my mom will watch it without me, like she is right now. We're almost at the last season, and she's just flying by.
She's watching on 2x speed?
No, she's just watching it all day long, and I have other things to do.
And what did you eat this week, Geese Peep?
I ate some sweet potatoes and meatloaf. Those are the exciting ones. I'm making my pasta salad again because I'm going to New Jersey this weekend, so I have to bring that for the meal. I'm going to be making shrimp and grits tonight. But I don't really like grits, so I probably won't eat the grits. Do you guys like grits?
I don't seek it out. Only time I've ever eaten them is in a buffet setting.
Taylor?
I mean, grits are fine. There was a time period where my stepdad would make grits constantly, and he would make them with butter. So I would do butter and syrup on my grits. It tastes fine. Grits are just like a grain. But grits really make me think of My Cousin Vinny, which is a great movie.
Taylor, please talk about the Borderlands.
Yeah.
Is this another Alice from Borderlands, or is this the Borderlands Randy Pitchford Presents My Video Game has turned into a show now?
So, very interesting. The Borderlands is an English, I believe, horror film. It's an indie thing, found footage, came out in 2013. Somebody made the correct decision when localizing it. So they changed the name to, it's either the Final Prayer or Last Prayer or something like that. The reason that I watch this movie is because I like indie horror movies. I like Australian and English horror movies specifically, like The Descent. And everybody online that I had read the opinion of was like, the ending is so traumatizing. The ending is so traumatizing.
Whoa!
So I was kind of excited going into it. And I was thinking, oh man, I can't wait for this to see what people are freaking out about and what really sticks with them. Go through the film. It's fine. It has a lot of interesting little bits to it. The ending, I was watching this with Eric. We were just laughing because it's so silly. Spoilers to follow for the next 10 seconds.
No.
At the end of the movie, they just wander into a stomach. Underneath a church through this cave pattern, just wander into a stomach, and that's the end of the movie. And it's so silly. So I go and I look it up, and the director has a tiny little YouTube following. He has like 400 followers, which I really like. Talks about what the actual idea behind the movie was, and it's so interesting. Conceptually, it's so cool. Michael, I actually think you might really like this because of how it views and deals with religion.
Have you heard of a horror film? I think it's called Dogtooth. It's a Greek horror film.
Ooh, that sounds
I've heard about that.
I want to watch that now that I've seen a little Instagram clip of it. Seemed very interesting about children that are raised never being exposed to the outside world and taught the incorrect words for things, so they never would be able to relate to anybody in the outside world. Seems very scary.
Interesting. How do you make that palatable for an audience is what I would be curious
I guess
about.
We'll see, because apparently it's good. Speaking of horror, I watched Saw, I'm guessing 10. They never say this is Saw 10, or they never say this is Saw X. Clambos, let me tell you right now.
We'll find out when they make Saw 10 too.
Got him. The sphere grid is very sick in that. This new Saw, miles better than the Saw that came out in 2021, Spiral, from the Book of Saw. That movie, no good. Waste of time. I'm sorry, Chris Rock. No offense to you. It's not a good movie.
He tried so hard.
He tried. Saw 10/X, it's kind of neat. You got your classic Saw elements of surprises and twists and turns. And actually, the beginning of that movie, God, I don't want to spoil it. The beginning of that movie is very interesting because you go quite a long time without traditional Saw elements. And it just, okay, this is very vague spoiler, so I guess you're doing a lot of skip in this episode. I'm sorry if you're trying to avoid horror spoilers, but it pulls off just making you empathetic towards the bad guy, and it's very interesting. It was a fun movie.
I hope that's a trend that we see a lot, just in overall empathy for characters. I know we had that really long slasher phase where you just wanted the characters to die, and that was the exciting part. But when I watch Train to Busan, for instance, you're watching the beginning of it, and you're like, man, I care about this guy's relationship with his kid.
Train to Busan. Wario64 just tweeted a link for Train to Busan, and also Train to Busan Presents Peninsula. I guess that's a sequel.
I don't really want to watch it.
But it's for pre-order, 4K.
I painted my nails.
Ooh, for Halloween, they're orange clambos.
I was cleaning my room to prepare for my job and setting up my desk.
You heard it here first, clambos. Your unemployed girl finally got work.
Good job.
I know, I've been looking for the past 10 months. Anyway, I found this nail polish from my stuff from Austin, and when I was living in Austin, I would buy nail polish for myself when I was feeling sad, and this color was a collaboration with Sour Patch Kids.
Ooh.
And it's Sour Patch Kid Orange.
Nice.
That is a very nice color of orange. Looks like candy for the grandmothers at home.
Yum, yum, yum. Real quick, my video game. This week I played, because it was on sale, and don't get me started on trying to get my PlayStation bucks. I've been fighting with Walmart because of stolen packages. Don't get me started, Clambos. I can't get into it.
I want to get it started. I want to hear about it.
Lose it. I've just been on the phone for hours, contacting them 6 times over and over again, and they keep saying, oh, you're going to get an email in 5 minutes. No email. Next day, oh, you'll get an email in 20 minutes. And I knew I wasn't going to get it, so I stayed on the line with the chat guy, and I was saying, oh, no, I'm very afraid to leave the chat because last time I was told I was going to receive an email, I didn't. And then, of course, he disconnects 3 minutes before 20 minutes, even though I was still talking to him. And, of course, I didn't get an email. Next day, call again. They say, oh, it's going to be 48 hours to get an email about this refund for the package you didn't receive. So I just took it up with PayPal and said, they're not giving me my product. I've wasted hours on this. Please just give me my money back because my money's been stolen. Anyway, I've been playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection. Came out last year, but now it's on sale. Oh my God. This is how you make a collection of old games, because you can go into so many behind the scenes documents for the creation of this game, the hand drawn and the handwritten notes. And you can see all the original boxes, the fronts and the backs, and the manuals for all these Game Boy and Super Nintendo and Japanese Famicom. Oh, it's so
That
good.
is so sick.
And you get trophies for playing it.
One of the things, so it's like a digital art book records file, something?
Yes, and you zoom in so deep. Oh my God.
One of the sickest parts of the Ultimania guide or Ultimania collection for the Final Fantasy VII Remake is seeing handwritten notes on character designs. It's just so sick.
So good. But specifically in that collection, I've been playing TMNT3, The Manhattan Project.
Manhattan Project.
It's fun.
What?
It's good.
Is one of the turtles Oppenheimer?
No. Shredder just took New York City, specifically Manhattan, and brought it up into the sky, as you do. Also, just because everybody's been talking about it and saying, oh man, Cyberpunk is so sick. They got this new DLC, a new patch is out. It's great now. I got this game for $10 on disc when it was on super clearance somewhere.
I thought it was
probably
less than that. I thought it was like $4, wasn't it?
Probably Best Buy. And I put it in the PS5, downloaded the PS5 update, thought, okay, sick. Start up the game immediately, just in the tutorial. it won't let me do a stealth takedown. No matter what, the button prompt won't happen. And I'm just laughing at the last trailer they put out where Idris Elba says, and the game is fixed. And you're supposed to go, oh, wow. And I'm just laughing. Yep, the game's fixed. So turn that off.
Yeah.
Yep. Taylor, tell me about your Liza
P and Sea of Stars.
I'm sorry, Liza who?
Liza P. You know her. Geese's favorite protagonist from Downton Abbey. So Lies of P just keeps getting better. A lot of people say that stories in Souls games are very divisive because they're very minimal. This one has a very cogent story, and it's very sick. It's really cool conceptually. Combat's great. Great game. Real fun. Same with Sea of Stars. I'm just shocked at how good both of them are. A side note for Geese, if you want to see a Ninja Turtle dressed as Oppenheimer with the trench coat and the hat, watch the movie from the 90s and one of my favorite films, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Where he goes to see Critters 2, the movie Taylor wants to see more than anything.
I really do. Boy, do I ever.
Now, Taylor, tell us about your food this week.
Food this week, I had so much pizza because we ordered... Well, I was by myself. Guncan was doing recruiting in Montana. So she surprised me with pizza. They gave me the wrong order. She got a refund, got me another pizza. They sent me a replacement pizza. And I'm just, it's good, but boy, is my stomach not happy.
I am so jealous. All I've been eating is dumb, healthy food. Because I walked onto the scale and I went, what is that number? What are you talking about? So I've been eating dumb salads, stupid bowls of black beans, and lettuce.
I have two things. One, in terms of beans. So as the Clambos know, I'm on a low-fat diet because I have the tumbo issues. Okay? So I got some cans of soup, some Progresso high-protein soup, and I got the soup that's Southwest-style black bean soup. And boy, fat really adds to flavor, is what I have to say, because it's just basically eating black beans. But anyway, I also forgot, because the last time we recorded, since then, I've had kava.
Yum, yum, yum.
I've been talking about that at physical therapy. Tell me about your experience.
You've been talking about Kava, Geese's favorite restaurant?
Yeah, at physical therapy. One of the guys who just got picked up by a different team, I think. So he's moving cities, despite just building an enormous mansion in Houston. He can't stop going on about kava.
Is this an NFL man?
Yes.
Is he single?
Yes, actually.
What position does he play?
Oh.
First off.
Wait, is he cute though?
Geese Peep was in tears the first time I went to Kava. She was so excited.
Wait, no, what was he talking about kava?
He just loves kava. He really, really loves kava.
Next time you see him, tell him, I have a friend who loves kava and is beautiful. Here is her number.
All right, Clambos, it is time for everyone's favorite news of the week. It's Pokken
News of the Week.
I don't remember us always going so slow. Clambos, Detective Pikachu Returns on the Nintendo Switch is out, so play that if you like those kind of games. Also, everybody's favorite news that you can't use. The Hisuian Decidueye 7-star raids have begun in Scarlet and Violet. They end on Sunday, so that's last Sunday to anyone listening to this. So, hope you got it. Also, we got a trailer for the new live-action Pokemon television show that's airing in Japan called Poketsume. I put a link there, but unfortunately, it's not a cool link like Geese posts where you can just click it and look at it. And you can't post a video natively into a Google Doc, so that's it. That's for Poké News of the Week.
Sick.
All right, let's move on to the plot. It's time to discuss the episode of Pokemon this week. Episode 22 of Horizons. What's the name of the episode in English, Geese?
Spoilers, it's episode sick.
Clash. Galar Mine.
Or in Japanese, Gekitotsu. Gararu Kōzan. Clambos, we have reached the mine and Hatena is scared. I was laughing that the kids think that she's feeling Rayquaz's feelings. Okay, sure, guys.
This is the most video gamey episode yet.
Yeah, there's a lot. You could make a whole stage out of this episode. A whole whole series of stages, like stage Act 1-2.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a Demon Souls mine level.
When they went in the mine, I was reminded about how sick the battle music is when you battle within the caves in Galar.
Mm-hmm.
It's the sickest music from that game.
Good music. The kids, Liko, Roy, and Fritos are all discussing what could Hatena possibly be feeling. Is it Roy's emotions? No, it can't be Roy's emotions. She would have felt it the whole way up here. We cut to Dot editing her video, the Neato Thing video. She's finally doing the video on that cotton candy that they got in Moto Stoke, if you'll recall, the big El Creamy battle.
I was, as somebody unfamiliar with Pokemon and as somebody who had forgotten the Alcremie battle with all the cotton candy, I was so confused when they were eating that cotton candy. I was sitting there like, is that a Pokemon?
No. I mean, it's supposed to look like a Pokemon, but it's not an actual Pokemon. Apparently, the user that recommended this cotton candy, I believe, was Muscles of a Rhydon, perhaps? That's fun. Shouts out to Muscles of a Rhydon. So Dot's putting in her little background. Quaxley's so cute, sitting like a duck on the bed, Geese. Dot says that the food reviews are very tough work, and Quaxley just falls asleep.
He's so cute. Guys, he's a little baby and a gentleman and probably a scholar.
I don't... This is probably a hot take. When Quaxley's being cool, I can't see him as being cute. And just laying on his back snoozing is too cool. Everything he does with his little hair and everything, just not as cute as Hogator.
The adults are eating some donuts and admiring all of their gears they bought in Galar. And Molly checks up on Liko's Instagram and sees that Hatena was caught. Very exciting.
It's not Instagram, it's their group chat.
Yeah, it looks like
I thought she was posting to her social account.
The Salami group chat.
Oh. I like how the adults are all reacting to this, and they're like, oh, Liko's got a Hatena. That's great news. And nobody's saying, really? She's the one?
No, it checks out. It makes sense. She's emotional. Checks out. Oh my God, I see what I believe to be the tastiest looking coffee I've ever seen in my life. And if it were me, I would have said, Al Creamy, stay away. I need this coffee black. But no, Murdoch says, Al Creamy, let's have it. Crembo up this coffee. But oh no, it was hot tea the whole time, and now it's ruined. Oh, way to go, everybody.
I was cracking up because in my mind, when Murdoch coughs on the coffee, I thought he had just had the realization that all of the cream was coming out of a Pokemon.
No, they didn't like it.
Also, he made really good looking donuts, and guys, this is a hot take, but
ooh, Geese's hot take of the week.
Hey, Clambos, look, I'm not a big donut person, but I can tell you right now, you need to rush over to Los Angeles and go to Sidecar Donuts and eat a butter and salt donut. Good. Because, and you make sure it's hot and fresh, make sure it's still warm, right out of being created. What is the word we use? Food is prepared?
Made?
When food is brought into when this donut is brought into existence, you need to consume it within a short amount of time. And I'm not joking with you. That donut is so next level. Oh my God, my poor tumble. I've been eating so healthy. Today may be the day. I got to eat something delicious because I'm thinking about these donuts. It's so transcendent, this butter and salt donut.
I need to send a message to the Clambos who have access to Sidecar. Just real quick. I'm sorry. Rarely do I categorize food as a game changer, but that is a game changer. That it will change how you appreciate the donut.
Imagine how delicious a giant box combo or Caniac combo is. Imagine how delicious your favorite big old savory meal. Concentrate that into a little donut. Hot, buttery, salty, baked in a very flaky crisp.
You know what's a real tragedy? I'm going to New Jersey tomorrow and I can't eat good New Jersey bagels or good pizza.
It's honestly, it's worth it for the Tumbo eggs. You should do it just one day.
I mean, I'm going to have to like drive 4 hours in the car, so I will not be eating any pizza.
We cut to Ludlow. He is making a big, giant parable about if you assume it makes an A word out of you and me, because
Very true.
Because they were talking about Murdoch assumed it was coffee and not tea. So the lesson for today, I don't really know how it relates to the rest of the episode. Did they assume it was going to be Rayquaza? Spoilers? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Who's to say?
It felt very out of place. Like that specific scene of Ludlow talking about that great life lesson after Murdoch was drinking coffee. I was just thinking, or tea. I was just thinking, really? That's where you're cramming that?
We cut back to the mine. As Geese mentioned, the music is very, very sick. We see some charcoal flying by. There's a drill burr freaking out. A little Diglett's playing with Fuecoco. Very mysterious. All these Pokemon seem kind of scared. I wonder. Let's go deeper into the cave, Clambos, and see all these cave sparkles. Ooh, so sick.
I have a note here. This makes me want to play video games when they're in a mine. I don't know why. Because there have been so many situations that are very gamey. You know, the first island that they picked Roy up on is perfect starter area for a game. But this specifically, I just kept thinking, what game can I play?
It's very a video game. Very a video gaming. Now, Clambos, we reach the crux of so many a Pokemon episode. The Pokemon are chasing other Pokemon deeper and deeper into the mine. My goodness, the kids have gotten lost. Frito tells them not to go further, but they do anyway. Frito calls the children on the Rotom phone. At this point, I think just use some GPS. You're telling me Rotom doesn't have a little bit of GPS down there?
Yeah, you're telling me that they have signal in the mines?
Anyway, they still can't find him. They're confused. They're lost. There's a bunch of identical passages. How are we ever gonna find each other? Time to split up, perhaps.
This really is a plot point from the movie The Descent, like chasing after shiny lights and chasing after voices and stuff like that. Have I told y'all the quick story about watching that with Guncan? Okay, so she doesn't. I love The Descent. I've seen it 5 or 6 times. One of my favorite horror movies. Everybody should go watch it.
I thought you said The Descendants, like the Disney Channel movie, and I was so confused.
Oh. I get really excited about the reveal in that. There's a kind of night vision camera thing, and it's very scary, and I had forgotten how scary it was, and Guncan does not like horror movies, and after that I'm just sitting there all excited saying, oh, just wait, you're gonna love this, it's so cool. She screamed so loud it hurt my ears, and she didn't talk to me for a day and a half.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So Fritos tells the kids to stay in one place. Roy decides to say, nah, I'm going to get more lost. And he has Fuecoco run down a dark, spooky, cavernous hole. And he uses the Final Fantasy 16 trick where you make little fire and you can use it as a torch.
It's interesting that Hatena isn't completely paralyzed by fear at this point.
Well, I guess Liko's not afraid. She's a little concerned, but she's not terrified.
But doesn't it react to like all the other Pokemon?
That's a good point. She's not doing great. She is nervous. But maybe she's about to get a lot more scared because who shows up? What evil team, Taylor?
Team Exploration and Charity.
The explorers are here. Oh my god. The kids have been chasing after a cry that they think is Rayquaza. Okay, let's just run towards Rayquaza. Roy, just wait. Can you wait a second? I'm just cracking up. Roy just yelling Rayquaza's name. Just Rayquaza. Hey, Rayquaza.
Looking into the terrifying abyss in the bottom of a mine, yelling out Rayquaza.
The geography of this cave is very confusing, or like the spatial awareness. Going forward a little bit, they have like a battle in this cavern. I was very confused about, are the kids with Frito and then they're not? It's very confusing.
What's confusing about the episode is that they cut between everything so quickly, and it's not always
Yeah.
clear if Frito is near the children. Rest assured, the children will never be near Frito until the end of this episode. So you don't.
I think they should have just put Frito in an area that was very visually distinct.
That would have been smart.
That
If I say the name Frito, rest assured, it's just him and Charizard. And if I say the kids, it's just the kids. Also, like we mentioned, the explorers are here. They're in the mud. Sprigatito gets scared by a Woobat. Geese, they find a little tiny opening with a terrified little Woobat, Roggenrola, and Timber inside. And so what does Liko give him?
Some very delicious looking biscuits.
She's got so much food from Murdoch. Oh, finally, the Pokemon are no longer scared.
just imagine being at this point. I'm thinking it's Rayquaza that's in the mine. Just imagine being a little Woobat running about your day, and out of nowhere, an enormous, terrifying, legendary Pokemon is crashing through a cave with you.
I wish I was a Woobat.
Oh.
Is that number one?
It has a little heart face and evolves into a Swoobat if you are friendly enough towards it. Here, Hatena, have some food too. Ah, everybody's so content. Let's all eat. What could possibly go wrong? Oh my God, the scream of a legendary Pokemon. Let's run towards it, says Roy. They discover something terrifying. It's a bunch of construction workers. Are they Dunzo geese?
They're completely out of energy.
Including Machamp. They all had their stamina sucked out. Oh my God. Then we see a wave of miasma start to surround Captain Pikachu. Liko calls the Pokemon Center for the wounded workers.
I have a question. Do the Pokemon Center also treat humans?
I also thought about that. Yeah, they probably know some rudimentary... They could probably help a little. Like, you know how you always watch those videos about criminals and they're always getting treatment at the vet in the back room? It's just like that. And then Frito sees a mysterious claw mark. But what's odd about this mysterious claw mark is it has more talon scratches than Rayquaza has claws.
I thought that was a pretty sick scene.
What could this possibly mean? Then we jump back to the kids. They bump into the explorers. It's the lackeys, not Amaranth, but his two other friends. But who does Frito run into?
The one and only Flaming Amaranth.
And it's commercial break. Oh my God, what's gonna happen? So dramatic. Oh, the music. Go Ceruledge, go Charizard. We cut back to the kids. Steal that pendant. Go Golduck. Oh my God, Captain Pikachu comes out of nowhere, takes down that Golduck. Blast Golduck, the pendant's going wild, the mind shaking, right on, doesn't afraid of anything. But now, we get one of the sickest looking things you could ever imagine. A dark energy blast out of the chasm. It's a Galarian Moltres. Oh, jeez, the music is so sick. We cut to Frito's. Ceruledge, use Phantom Force. Oh, man. The Pokedex doesn't even have information on Galarian Moltres. What are we gonna do?
I was wondering what Phoenixmon was.
So that's like a regular Pokemon, but like kind of like Olivia, Oliva, whatever. It's just big and special.
No and no. Arboliva is a normal Pokemon that's big. Galarian Moltres is a legendary Pokemon.
I have a hot take.
Yes.
My hot take is that I think that Pokemon's design is kind of boring and generic.
Geese Pete. He looks sick.
It's
His shiny is the same color as Cantonian.
It's very... Luckily, the Pokemon itself is sick enough and the situation surrounding it is sick enough that makes up for it. But when you compare it to something, the heavy hitters of designs, like you just look at Ceruledge over there looking so incredibly sick, and then you look at Phoenixmon and you're like, eh.
Okay.
It's basic.
Galarian Moltres. You can remember that, Taylor. Geese Peep. What is inside Galarian Moltres' little bird feet? Talons, some may call them.
Ancient Monster Ball.
Try it again in English.
An ancient Monster Ball.
In English.
Oh. An ancient Pokeball.
You too. Oh my god, it must be one of Lucius's, the ancient adventurer's Pokemon.
It's interesting that Arboliva and Galarian Moltres both have possession of their ball.
It's a nice ball. If I were one of them, I wouldn't want to give it up either.
Well, Rayquaza was stuck in his.
Yeah. She was just a big old tree, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I want to be in a big old tree.
Yeah.
Like a woodpecker.
Galarian Moltres attacks everyone. Oh no, all the explorers' Pokemon are knocked out. Oh, and all the rest of the Pokemon, the protagonist Pokemon, we may call them, their energy has been sapped, just like the construction workers. What are we going to do? Poor Sprigatito, it's going to be curtains. But Captain Pikachu jumps in at the last second to protect her. Oh, Cap, he's so, what's the word? What's the adjective? It means selfless. He's so selfless, so brave.
Yeah, I was so confused during this because why isn't Frito helping the children? Because I thought they were all in the same room, and I was like, what is going on?
And I thought Amaranth was just sitting there watching this happen, and I was so incredibly confused.
No, Galarian Moltres is with the children and the lackeys. Ceruledge, Amaranth, and Fritos are all in a separate room battling. They hear some legendary Pokemon screaming, but they don't see it.
Would have been great if they had just had either like what I was saying earlier about the distinct area or more wide shots instead of just single, here's a close-up of Roy, here's a close-up of Fritos.
Well, we can't always get what we want. We cut right back to Charizard and Ceruledge. They're fighting, and we got Fritos and Charizard breathing in sync. Dragon Claw, Night Slash. Oh, Clambos, this Ceruledge has the hidden ability Weak Armor. That means when he's hit, his defense may be lowered by 1 stage, but his speed increases by 2 stages.
So sick.
We cut back to the Moltres about to destroy the children, but Roy stands up. He and Fuecoco break through the Moltres' curse. Flamethrower! And when this poor little boy, when this baby Fuecoco does a flamethrower to this legendary Galarian Moltres, I knew it wasn't going to turn out great. But when Moltres creates a giant tornado and little baby Fuecoco ragdolls into it, oh my god. I was so sad for him.
I really want a fight between Cap and Ceruledge because they're both speedy. And I feel like that would be so sick. I feel like we're also building up to it. Fuecoco doing his flamethrower was incredibly sick, and his little arm flex afterwards towards Roy was adorable. And Galarian Moltres putting out a tornado at Cap is like putting Bane in a dark closet, is what I'm thinking before the rest of the scene unfolds.
Baby Fuecoco flying through the air. Just his little face, his little tiny itty-bitty body. He's never going to survive. But luckily, Captain Pikachu breaks through the curse and grabs Fuecoco and throws him to Roy. And then he uses his electricity to destroy Moltres' attack and protect them all again. And Hatena's crying.
The single tear that Hatena does as a reaction to this is so funny to me. I don't know why. I was laughing.
You should get a screenshot of it.
I was cracking up at Liko during this scene. I don't know if we've gotten there yet, but everybody else breaking through curses, fighting for their lives, getting tossed around this mine. And Liko's just like, I wonder what's making that giant thing so upset. I was laughing.
Clambos, it's gonna be all over. Moltres is bringing down the entire mine. But Liko finally breaks through. Roy, come over here. Push this minecart with me. We're gonna jump on. And Moltres is furious. Poor Captain Pikachu, he's so beat up protecting everybody. Oh no, they're flying down the track, but Moltres is chasing them. Flamethrower, Fuecoco. We cut to Fritos. He's still fighting. The mine's collapsing.
I thought the animation during the minecart chase was like kind of poor. I don't know if you guys thought that.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was super goofy.
I couldn't decide if it was good or bad, but it was certainly something.
because it wasn't low detail enough to be what they would generally call, I think, sakuga, which is a very flowy animation style. Yeah, it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
I did like the minecart scene though for more video gaminess, and because Fuecoco once again steps up his game.
And then, Geese, we see the kids fly into the room with the big battle between Fritos and Amaranth.
Finally.
And what does Fritos say to the kids?
Keep going. Take care of Pikachu.
Very sick. I really think highly of Fritos in this episode. Between that's an interesting number of claw marks, to he's in the middle of a giant fight with Amaranth after so long, sees what's going on with the kids, and within half a second, he's like, Charizard flamethrower that thing. And Charizard's just like, I got you. Very sick scene.
Poor baby Captain Pikachu, he's so beat up. Oh no, they escape out of the mine as Charizard's fighting off Moltres and Frito's yelling to take care of Cap. The mine collapses, and it looks like this just may be the end for Fritos and Amaranth. To be continued. What a cliffhanger, Clambos. What's gonna happen?
Who's to say?
We'll have to find out next week. But before then, Geese, please tell us what the seminar this week is. Which I found the seminar this week funny just because I felt like they may want to be kind of sick about it. And since we don't know what's going to happen with Fritos, not have a seminar. They just got to smiling Fritos in a seminar about not even spooky Galarian Moltres.
Today's seminar is on Carkol, the coal Pokemon. Carkol moves by burning the coal on its back, and there's an amazing secret about the coal. Is it A, it never runs out, B, it's cold, or C, it's soft?
Did you just say there's an amazing secret?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what they said in the show?
Yes, that is exactly what they said on the show.
It sounds like something they would say in the show.
The secret is it never runs out because his body just creates more coal, which is great for the salami.
How does Pokemon not obey the laws of thermodynamics?
It's taken you this long to ask that question?
No, first of all, of course it does. What, you don't create hair and fingernails because you eat food? Geese Peep? He's made of coals. He creates coals. It's the same as...
It is a very sick picture with Oreos and Carkol. And Slugma?
Slugma is in the furnace, yeah. He burns Carkol's coals.
So my question is, how many Pokemon have that obvious and direct a synergy?
Oh, tons of them. They're like a bunch of VVs and Steiners out here. Final Fantasy IX reference for the fans.
That's Michael's Anime Minute.
Yeah.
That's not an anime. Although there is a TV show coming. Anyway, yes, Taylor mentioned Carkol's in a giant hamster wheel that has a railroad track that he moves on to create more coal or something. Keep the coal warm. And Captain Pikachu's got a thumbs up. I don't remember Oreo in that picture, but I'll take Taylor's word for it.
I wish Oreo was in every picture.
And that, Clambos, concludes episode 22 of Horizons, Liko and Roy's Big Ol' Adventures, Clash Galar Mine. I thought this episode was non-stop action. So sick, cool. Very fun time.
It's a very sick episode. I don't know if this is my favorite one, but it's up there. It might be.
And I've mentioned like 40 times now, but this Pokemon anime has a very specific formula. It's cute episode, sick battle episode. Cute Pokemon episode, emotions, sick battle episode. They're trying to get everybody entertained at least half the time.
There's a little something for everyone.
So overall, enjoyable. They shocked me again with, now unfortunately I was aware of this from social media that we were going to find a Galarian Moltres in here. But it's fun to see these absolutely random, unexpected Pokemon show up. Specific with the legendaries. It's not even just legendaries that would make sense in the canon. It's a shiny Rayquaza and a Galarian Moltres. Very fun.
It's cool because what's the hero of Legend's name? It's not Lucius, is it?
Lucius.
Really?
The ancient adventurer Lucius.
I thought, oh no, it's a Gibeon is the name of the Explorer's head coach. We've goofed that a couple times. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't I call this weeks ago when we were looking at the book? And didn't I say, is that a Galarian Moltres? Somebody's gonna have to play back the tape. Did I know the whole time? You probably did.
Geese is doing some eyebrows.
I like that it feels like a team. It doesn't feel like this is a plot team. It feels like this is a team that this trainer put together, and it kind of has. I don't know how to. I don't really know how to describe it, but it makes Lucius feel like a very real trainer.
Now, Geese, let's get those eyebrows less ironic, because it was very difficult to see what Pokemon were in the pictures. It was not clear in his little book of adventuring.
No, I don't have any doubt. My eyebrows weren't about that in your Pokemon detecting who's that Pokemon skills. I didn't really enjoy this episode. I thought
that doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the battle-centric episodes anyway, but I thought the animation wasn't that great. I couldn't really place myself in the geography of the cave. I don't know. I like character development based episodes.
I totally I'll validate you. Those are all very, very real issues. The only reason I like it is because the volume of sick outweighed the volume of not sick.
It's easily an 8.0, 8.5 out of 10 fun sick episode.
I wished that more of the team went on this expedition. You would think you have 2 kids going in a mine, you would want another adult.
Other than Fritos. Like, Fritos is sick, but he's not who I would pick to watch a herd of children.
I'm surprised. A herd. It's 2. I'm surprised that Geese isn't more into this episode because it's in Galar. What's the sick Galar mines and sick Galarian Moltres?
Well, I think, I don't know. I wish I like more team involvement. Like, I think it would have made sense for Oreo to go with the kids.
You two just love Oreo.
You know, I'll back that up.
All right, Clambos. Unfortunately, we've lost Taylor in a terrible internet accident. I'm sorry. Geese, please take us into the wrap-up.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please follow us on social media at Look, Listen, Cast on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
Wow.
Thank you to Keith for our artwork. You can find him on twitch.tv/KeithSquared.
Shouts out to Professor Ticklebits for the website and boilerplate. You can follow him on twitch.tv/Keith. Oh no. Twitch.tv/prof_Ticklebits. Thank you to all our supporters. You can support us by going to looklistencast.com or clicking the little link in the podcast apps. Clambos, please recommend this podcast to your friends and families of all ages, no swear words, and send in your emails, your questions to looklistencast@gmail.com. Much like Portable Jeff or Beef, he asked this week, do you feel like the limited color palette of the Game Boy Color affected how much different the shiny Pokemon could look? So if they had a chance to do it again, would they make some Gen 1 or 2 shinies more distinct than the original shinies? Portable Jeff/Beef, yes, of course. And a lot of shinies have kind of changed, actually. In the early days, the shinies, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Geese historian.
Oh, I'm an expert. Oh, yeah, I'm an expert at first gen and second gen Pokemon, so please, go ahead.
She's a historian, but she has a whole degree in it. But my understanding was shiny colors weren't even picked back then. It was just literally an inverse of the colors they already had, using an algorithm, so you couldn't even pick the shinies. So if they were going to hand pick the colors like they do these days, I know some people don't like Guzzlord shiny, but he turns in this big white and orange Halloween thing. I think it looked kind of sick. They would 100%, if they were making it today, pick different colors for shinies. Geese, do you have any thoughts on shinies at all? Please, go ahead.
I like shinies. I think that my favorite shiny coloration is when it's a cool toned Pokemon and its shiny is warm colors.
Ooh.
Something that's very distinct.
Yeah, that's great for shiny hunting. Man, it's terrible when you're trying to shiny hunt something that doesn't look different at all, especially in Scarlet and Violet, because in Legends Arceus, shiny hunting's super easy because you hear a shiny noise that goes ding-ling-ling, and you see sparkles come off them when you see them. So just great for shiny hunting. Scarlet and Violet, they expect you to just stare at those little Pokemon and look as hard as you can. And like Paldi and Tauros is basically identical. Charcadet, basically identical, just a slightly different eye color. That's terrible.
I have a shiny Growlithe in Pokemon Sleep, and even that is not as distinct because it's just a lighter color of orange.
I disagree. I really like Growlithe shiny. It's not super different, but that light shade I think is distinct enough. Pikachu and Pichu are pretty tough actually because it's just like a darker shade of yellow. But to me, Growlithe is different enough that it looks like he's just sun-kissed. Is that the phrase when you're in the sun and you lightens the color?
Yeah.
Thank you, Portable Jeff, for your question. Please continue, everyone, to send us questions. So each week we can read them at the end of Look Listen with Geese and Guyera and Taylor, but he's not here because his internet goofed twice in a row. I'm sorry to everyone that you don't get to hear him say goodbye. Geese looks like she's crying because she can't eat the pizza and bagels in New Jersey. So let her wallow in her misery. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Oh, she's so sad. She needs to say goodbye twice more. Oh, she's got something
I might
to say.
eat a bite of pizza.
Yum, yum, yum.
The last time I ate pizza, I did not eat food for the next 3 days because it was a disaster.
Oh, no. Well, everybody hopes and wishes on Geese's stomach. So send her some posy vibes.
Posy vibes.
Posy vibes only. Okay, one more goodbye, I think. Or do you want to?
Goodbye.
Maybe one.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Pete. Thank you for listening to the Geese Pete Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Bell 30 company